Okay, I don't mean to be nosy, but I just discovered the house that Taylor Swift grew up in is for sale right now, and I really can't help myself from trying to build it in The Sims. Okay, look at this. This house is beautiful. This is the back of it. It's got like an incredible backyard. This is it from the front. It has these beautiful shutters. It's got this like amazing sunroom. Oh. The cat has come to help. Look at the patio though. Oh my gosh, this house is amazing. They've got a pool. Obviously it's the winter, so it's covered, but it's also got like a lot of land. It looks like the lot is huge. It's for sale for $1 million. It's got 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. It's like 3,600 square feet. It is fancy on the inside as well. Look at all the trim and like the fancy stairs. This is a nice house. So like I said, we are obviously gonna try and build it in The Sims. I'm thinking that maybe this lot isn't good for it because it looks like the lot is sort of wide. You can kind of tell in this photo, like the garage is over here. They have this huge front yard. There's a pool in the back and stuff. You know what? That garage actually is really far from the house. That's like a trek with your groceries to get them into the front door. I'm sorry, I keep just like staring at it. It's so pretty. I think I might build it on this lot though. The front of this lot is technically here, but we could build it this way so that we could have like the wider space. Why does that tree have to be right in the middle of it? Forget it. We'll do it here. This lot is better. This will work. Oh, there's kind of like a fake driveway space here anyway. Maybe that's good. That's the closest you're gonna get to a driveway in The Sims 4, so that'll do. So the house kind of looks like this. This lot might not even be big enough, to be honest with you. Wow, they have a lot of space, huh? But I think this one is a patio and it's not a room, so we'll just put like the roof. I also don't think it's on like a huge foundation. You can tell from the picture there isn't like a big step up to the house or anything. The house actually looks like it's on a hill because the back is lower than the front, but it's really hard to do that in The Sims. I mean, we could put this on like a giant lot if we wanted to, but it's hard because you want the front to be like level with the street and then the back has to sort of sink, but then there's not a lot of space to do that. So from what I can tell, the front door is like a tiny bit bumped out and then it has more columns here. The front is like really fancy. I mean, you know, the whole house is fancy, but the front has like some cool special stuff going on. Oh, they have like a metal fence up there, but it's taller and it's also straighter. I think it's more like this. I think they even have like some fancy trim up there too. From what I can tell, there's like some fancy stuff going on underneath the roof. I want to do dormers, but I'm not sure if I should do them like custom built, like make them with walls, or if we should put like the dormer decorations, because we do have stuff like this and that's kind of similar to how the roof looks, but the real one's obviously a little bit fancier. I'm not sure. Maybe that is better because it's wider. And then we could lower the roof a little maybe. Yeah, I think that looks good. They have arched windows. We don't have that. We don't have like small arched windows. And then this middle one on the real house is also bigger. I want to do something like this for the windows because they have shutters in the real house, but we don't have anything wide enough because they have like those wider windows downstairs. I mean, we could maybe do something like this to kind of mimic it, but is that super ugly? Because I think it looks a little bit ugly in The Sims. It works though, like you get the picture. You can tell what we're going for. They have like a super cute door here on this like sunroom area. It kind of looks like that, but I want to fill up the whole wall with windows and I'm worried about that being too short. Because what are the options? Like to stack them all weird like this? When you're building real life houses in The Sims, you kind of have to make this weird choice between like style versus function or like color versus shape, and it's hard to try and find like the best match for stuff. You have to make some sacrifices. Okay, that looks nothing like what it looks like in real life. This is like way fancier, but part of me is kind of wondering if maybe we should do it like that, because that gives off the sunroom sort of vibe, and then it has the arched windows that we don't have up here. Yeah, I think that actually makes up for it. There are chimneys on both sides of the roof, so we have to put those in, and then we gotta figure out the driveway situation. There's gotta be a chimney like here and also here. I don't know how tall they are, so oh boy. That looks ugly. All right, we gotta put like something in that to make it look better. Sometimes I'll do stuff like this. Let's see if we can get it to fit properly. But basically I'll take that and then you raise it up a fair amount basically. Oh, I put it over too far. But you do that so that it looks like there's an actual chimney up there. I don't know if I like that one. And then because these chimneys are actually functional in the game, if you do this, if you have the fireplaces lit in your house, it will actually have smoke coming out of it. I think that looks okay. Why does that one look worse? Don't they look like they're different colors? They're the same. same. What's the difference? It's like the lighting on that one is messed up. You know what? I'm gonna come back to that. We're just gonna leave it. Oh, now it's really bad. I thought I would make the chimney smaller, and then I really messed it up. I think I might put the house like as far over as I can, just because then we can get the garage as far over as we can. Oh, we could also just put it on a bigger lot. Oh, who are we kidding? It's a mansion. Let's go big or go home. This is better. Yeah, that's better. Okay. I guess this is worse for the driveway situation though, because it's gonna line up to nothing on the lot. Oh, we can't win. Okay, well, in real life, it looks like this is a 2-car garage, and it also has a little door. Here's a more up close picture. It's actually quite nice. It looks pretty. I recently started using these as garage doors. These are doors from Snowy Escape. Doesn't that feel like it works really well for this? That's the closest you're gonna get to like an actual garage door in this game too. I mean, because it's functional, it's a real door. I think those are bigger than the real house one is, but it works. No, I swear we have a gutter of some sort in this game. Okay, we do. Oh, it comes in green. Okay. Well, they have one of those like right there. And then they have a big driveway. You see, this is just ugly in The Sims. Genuinely ugly in The Sims. If it were up to me, I would probably leave that out of the house. I won't lie. Like, I would just simply pretend that does not exist, because as far as The Sims is concerned, it doesn't anyway. We don't have cars in this game, so that's probably the best we're gonna get though, right? They also have a really beautiful brick path leading up to the front of the house, so I think we could do maybe something like this would be good. Oh, except the size of it is off. Well, because ours is 3 tiles, maybe we could do something like this. We could always do this one too. I think I like that though. I feel like that has similar vibes. Okay, part of the problem with doing real life houses and real life landscaping is that in real life we have mulch. We don't have that in The Sims. Like, this is mulch. That's the closest we're gonna get to mulch. A lot of the landscaping on this house, obviously because it's winter, is mulch. But also in real life, you don't just like fill every square inch with plants. That's just very impractical. So when you look at this, they've got like some pretty like mulch lining the grass around the trees and stuff. That always looks so ugly in the game. There's just no way around it. It looks ugly in The Sims. I'm telling you this because I'm warning you, okay? Before you get upset, just know that like I did try. It's just that the inspo pick is not giving us a lot to work with. Why is that so bumpy? Why have you done that to me, game? I like perfectly lined that up. Oh my gosh, I could cry. It's so ugly. Okay, no, it's fine. One step at a time. Everyone, one step at a time. We will fix this. So I don't know what these trees look like when they're not dead, obviously. I was thinking about putting these ones down. We can also put this house into the winter to try and get the right vibes, but I feel like those trees are kind of appropriate, and they're also pretty. I might size them down though, just so they aren't blocking too much of the house. There's also this really amazing debug like stone square. I know I've zoomed in a lot, but you see how they have like a little tiny like stone stepping path walkway there? They also have one on this side, like leading up to this room. So I want to try and mimic that too. Oh, do they have columns there? Oh, they do. Oh, this is nice. That is really nice. Well, anyway, it looks kind of like this, or maybe this. So I'm gonna put a couple of these down to kind of mimic that. There's not actually a door here on this side anymore because I got rid of it, but that gets the point across. It does get a little bit round down here at the bottom. So oops, wrong way. So I'm just trying to like add in a little bit of that. Look, you see down there? I absolutely cannot tell what that is supposed to contain. Genuinely, I couldn't tell you, but we'll put something. Okay, they obviously have like all these little bushes lining this pathway. The problem is we don't have a lot of little bushes that are plain. We have these, but I think this is like a little bit too manicured. These also have flowers. This fern is pretty nice, but it's also not the same style of bush. But maybe that green fern is our best bet. I might use that. I need like an in-between of these two. It really does look bad. Okay, next I want to like rotate some of them a little bit randomly. The idea being that they hopefully won't look like as uniform if they've been rotated a little bit. Obviously it is just the same bush over and over again. We know that. But if we can just pretend that they've been slightly different. Oh, besties, this house is ugly. I mean, absolutely no harm to the owners of this house when I say that, by the way. It's not your fault. It's the Sims' fault. The Sims house is ugly, not your real one. Okay, I think they have like a little tree or something here. Do you see that? I can't tell for the life of me what that is supposed to be. It might even be a palm tree, but there's like some sort of fancy bush there. I wonder if we could use our imaginations a little bit and put something that might look better in The Sims. I mean, mean, it's dead in the pictures anyway, so we can pick and choose. Now, I'm guessing this house probably has a mailbox like on the door. This is the Sims 4 though, that doesn't work. So I'm gonna give us a real mailbox just so it functions. Or well, we could put a mailbox up here. We could do one like to the side. I don't know if that's gonna, can your Sims get stuff out of that? You know what? Let's just pretend. Maybe I should use these little tiny balls. I'm getting the impression that this house has flowers back here. Do you see them? I mean, they're dead, but those are flowers, right? It's hard because they're small, and also I live in Florida, so like, I don't know what plants look like in the winter in other places. You might be like, oh, those are obviously like insert certain name of flower, but like, I'm not familiar with all these different types. The dead ones look kind of like this, but I'm gonna do us a favor and pick something prettier. Do you know what? That really is kind of cute. Maybe I'll make them purple. This is horrible. I don't know what more I can do for it though. I'm sort of staring at this now, trying to figure out like what else goes on over here. They do actually have some trees at the end of the driveway. I think it kind of goes like that. I think they're meant to be a different kind of tree than like these ones, but I'm just gonna use the same ones. They also have a basketball hoop here. Now, obviously we don't know if Taylor Swift had a basketball hoop here, but the current owners do, and we are using their house as inspiration, so we'll put it too. They've also got like a hedge fence. Oh my God, I can't put it together because the house is on a foundation. All right, we can sneak that. But they have a hedge fence right here, and it looks like a little iron gate, although all of the gates are very small. We have a lower fence. Oh, that's probably fine. It isn't even that much lower, so it won't really make a difference if we use that one instead. And I think they've got some landscaping going on here. Now, they're not exactly taking pictures of that area, are they? So I don't know what goes in it. I might even just give us some more flowers, because why not? They also have a tree, like right there. You see that? Look how cute that is. I might do that one, but size down once to look like that. You know what? One of these days, maybe I'll renovate this house to like make it look better in The Sims, because it's a really beautiful concept. It's just like the landscaping is funky when you try and recreate it. As far as I can tell, the house is just painted white, so I'm gonna quickly add in that. And then I'm pretty sure the whole front is done. The back of this house is amazing, so we have to make sure we do this justice. Oh, we can actually see a little bit more now. I don't think I realized there was actually an iron fence in front of the bushes there. That makes more sense. We can replace that if we want to make it look a little bit better. You know what? Maybe I'll leave it just because it's hard to fit the bushes in back here, but we could use this fence on this because I think that's what they have, is like some sort of metal fence there. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do it with the hill. The front of the house is supposed to be flat with this, but then the back goes down. So I wonder if we could play pretend a little bit with some platforms. Think like if we did something like that to sync it. The only problem is you can't put pools in platforms. So the pool is supposed to be like down there at the bottom of the hill, but we couldn't really do that. They also have a garden over here, but our lot is like not big enough. It needs to be even wider than this to have the garden in this area. Okay, well, I think obviously the most like standout part of this whole house is this little, what is that? Okay, that was weird. I think it's this little like rounded porch thing in the back. Is that not centered? Oops. Okay, let me make that a little bit wider. Okay, there you go. Now, what is that? Ah, fence. Okay. Can I not put that there? Because it's not a room. I'd have to put like a floor there first. Okay, I wonder if I put this up here. Oh, it's because the wall's not tall enough. Oh my gosh, duh. No, I knew that. If you hold shift, you can place freezes on shorter walls. There we go. And then they have like some fancy columns. Look at that. Ours are not wide enough for that. The columns that we have are like skinny, tiny, tiny, tiny little columns, but I think it's okay because it sort of gets the point across still. Oh, that's as tall as I can make it. Is that floating? I think it's floating a little bit underneath the roof, but shh. They also have way bigger windows in the back with no shutters, which I'm glad about because then we can get some more light. Makes sense because it obviously looks like from the picture the sun shines into the back of the house. Does that look okay to you? I think that looks like the picture. Here's a drone shot of the back. I didn't realize they had a trampoline. That is amazing. We also have, it looks like right here, kind of like almost centered, a big tree. I'm gonna put this one. I feel like that's the best bet, although I might need to rotate it a little bit because it's clipping. Okay, there you go. And they have another really big tree over here, and also one kind of in the back corner, it looks like, and maybe even one like over here too. The backyard is like hands down the best part, but I really don't know how to do this without it being ugly in The Sims. So okay, let's talk it out. Obviously we know that the pool is gonna come out this way. There's like a little stone wall there, and then on the other side of it, obviously it's also also sloped, but there's like a little stone wall here with on the other side some plants. Now, obviously in real life it's there because it's sloped, but it kind of goes like that. And it looks like the pool has kind of an interesting shape and it's huge. It goes kind of like to where the garage is. And then it has like that little bump out. And then they have a trampoline over here. We don't have trampolines. Maybe I'll put a swing set to mimic it. There, pretend that's your trampoline. It looks like it's a pretty interesting tile or something down there too. Maybe I'll do something like this. I think that's what it looks like. I mean, look, they have like the lounge chairs over there. Obviously it's tiny. They're not really focusing on the outside in any of the photos, obviously because it's winter. This is the pool photo, so doesn't really give you a lot to work with. From what I can tell, I think they have some bushes like around this tree, and they obviously have a ton of like bushes and flowers and stuff in this area. I might alternate them, maybe? Yeah, that's ugly, but I don't know what else to do. Why? It deleted my freeze. Look at that. Oh, Sims 4, you are testing me today. Come on, we're gonna be put back. Nope, come on. Okay, I think it's because I deleted the room that was underneath it. I believe if I do it again, yeah, now I can put it back, but then I'm gonna delete the room again and it's gonna disappear again. Delete room, freeze still there, raise these up. Oh, now this is deleted. Oh my gosh. Well, the last thing we had to do was put those in the back anyway, so maybe it's for the best. Okay, well, I think this is the best we can do as far as recreating this home in The Sims without using any CC or anything. Obviously, it's not the most beautiful looking house in The Sims 4. The landscaping is just weird, but I think we could absolutely redo this in a more, you know, Sims-like way. And I didn't even try and touch the inside. I mean, I feel weird doing that when it's like people's furniture, you know, because it's not like Taylor Swift's furniture, it's someone else's furniture, and I feel bad about that. So we could always try and renovate this and like make it into a Sims house that just happens to be inspired by this house. So if you want to see that, let me know. If you like this video, feel free to leave a like, comment on it, you know. And also I do a lot of recreating things in The Sims. For example, last week I rebuilt the iCarly sets in The Sims 4. So if you want to watch that, I'll have it linked at the end of the video. And with that being said, I'll catch you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody. I did try, okay? It doesn't look that good, but I swear I did try.